Thank you, Steve. Next up is Pieter Stroeve with the California Solar Energy Collaborative.
Well, good afternoon. I don't have a slide to advertise the solar workshop, but that's on Wednesday. Anyways, we are the California Solar Energy Collaborative at UC Davis and UC San Diego. I've listed here the people that are involved with this. Myself as co-director and Jan Kleisel as co-director at UC San Diego. We have a variety of professors that are working in this area, both being directly involved or indirectly involved. For instance, in the bottom, I say here we have several more faculty from UC Davis, UC San Diego, and other universities. An example is Purdue University, or Southern Illinois University, or the University of Texas. We started quite recently, May 2009, so we're kind of new kids on the block, although someone sitting up there was even newer. So what have we been doing in the last almost 2 years? We've done some solar technology assessments from a more technical standpoint. We've conducted education and outreach. We've done website development. You can find our website very easily at UC Davis. We've done workshops for stakeholders. We have established a board of advisors. We've developed external funds. So even though the amount of money we get for CSAC is funded by the California Energy Commission, it's not a whole lot of money. It's about $700,000 for the 2 years, which is split between UC Davis and UC San Diego. But having the organization is very, very useful to us. As you can see, we developed external funds which are well more than the money we receive from the California Energy Commission. And we use this mainly for research. So we certainly have brought in more money from NSF, from DOE, to some extent also from PEER, than was allocated in the program. And that makes it very useful. We have made lots of connections. We have also applied for funding that wasn't funded, unfortunately. We also got funding from USAID to develop solar energy in third world countries. Another thing we have to do is provide assistance to the CEC and to develop a solar radiation database. Now, if here on the next slide will be unreadable because the font size doesn't come out right, but this is the number of projects we've been doing. Within some directly from CEC money, some from the external funding. But we're here to talk about possibilities in the future and how we can perhaps focus more on California-based needs. The CSAC is, as I said, is a relatively small entity. There's no way we're going to compete with places like NREL. But we can have our own impact in California itself. And so we have a variety of ideas how we can do that. But I've just listed three of them here. As an example, assessment of solar thermal energy storage technology. Concentrated solar thermal power is of great interest, and I think is one of the more economical ways of generating electricity. Because they can benefit grid stability if used in conjunction with storage. I believe it's cheaper than photovoltaics at this point right now. It would be useful to develop thermodynamic models based on these plants, just like development of economic models. And that would be useful for new plants that may come up in certain areas within California. Assessment of the use of solar cooling potential in California. There's not much emphasis placed on solar cooling or even solar heating in California, but I think we should pay attention to this because it's, I think, an economical way of doing it. Instead of generating electricity and then use that to heat and cool, it's really less expensive to do it directly. In our workshop, for instance, Roland Winston will come and give a talk about this area. He also was here last week and gave a talk. Then, integration of solar energy with other energy sources. I think this has a lot of potential, particularly in California. Maybe not on a very large scale, but more on a local scale. We have a lot of microenvironments in California, very uniquely different. You can go 10 miles and you have totally different weather. As an example, I go to Bodega Bay often. The weather in Bodega Bay is not very good. I do have a cottage up in Camp Meeker, which is next to Occidental. The weather there is mostly sunny. It's beautiful. That's only 9 miles as the crow flies from Bodega Bay. So a totally different weather environment there. And we can take advantages of these kind of situations where you can have combinations of different renewable energy sources integrated together. And to understand how these systems work or what's needed for these systems, I think is an area that will need research. What does that say? 3 minutes, oh, lots of time, thank you. So I think there are opportunities for combining, let's say, solar with wind, solar with biomass, certainly solar with geothermal, and other renewable energy sources in California. You will hear, the next speaker will talk about small hydro. There are possibilities there. And you can see that this could be very, very, in a certain sense, complex. If you have 3 or 4 renewable energy technologies working in conjunction to supply electricity, this is going to be a very complex system, and we need to understand these systems very well, both from a thermodynamic basis, from a control basis, from a design basis, and from an economic basis. And that's all I have to say right now. Thank you.